D. The cell membrane. The cell membrane is responsible for regulating what enters and exits the cell, for binding hormones and other chemicals, as well as adhering to other cells to create tissues. The cell membrane is composed of a molecule called the phospholipid. This molecule has a water-loving phosphate head and two water-fearing lipid tails. Rather than balling up like a drop of oil in water, or laying as a single layer across the top of the water's surface, phospholipids organize themselves into a double layer of lipids. The phosphate heads point away from one another, while the tails congregate together, creating a water-filled space in the middle, where the cell's organelles and nucleus will be contained. We call this a phospholipid bilayer. The cell membrane is not exclusively composed of phospholipids, but it also contains cholesterol to maintain the cell's fluidity and to help stabilize the membrane. In addition, it has proteins attached to the inside or outside membrane, proteins that are large enough to pass from the outside surface to the inside surface as well, and chains of sugars attached to either a protein, making a glycoprotein, or simply a lipid attached to a phospholipid called a glycolipid. Glycolipids, like cholesterol, help stabilize the cell membrane. Since the membrane is embedded with so many different types of molecules flowing on its lipid bilayer membrane, it's often called a fluid mosaic. These proteins that make up the membrane mosaic include channel proteins, which are essentially open tubes that allow anything that fits to freely move from one side of the membrane to the next. There's also carrier proteins, another type of protein that's involved in transporting goods in and out of the cell. However, these proteins select what may exit or enter, and also may require ATP to function. Glycoproteins help with cell identification by other cells, like your immune system cells, and for adhering cells together like glue to make tissue. Receptor proteins are used to bind specific chemicals and hormones, while enzymatic proteins will catalyze a specific chemical reaction along the cell membrane.